Okay, earnings are out, guys, and look at Apple go. We're going to break down Apple, SanDisk, WDC, Visa, and Deckers. We're going to break down a bunch, and let's start off here with Apple. So Apple closed at 258. We're now trading at 260, but you can see on two separate pops here, we've gotten to the mid 260s. In fact, on that first one right here, we got the 268. So Apple is ripping, showing signs of that momentum here after the bell. So let's just run through these numbers, guys. They're fresh off the press pretty much. So Apple reported EPS of $2.84 versus $2.66 expected, and revenue of $143.75 billion versus 138.41. So they beat revenue by $5 billion, beat EPS by about 20 cents. So double beat out of Apple. Looks like here, might as well dive into the segments. Apple iPad sales, $8.6 billion versus the $8.15 billion. Services, $30 billion, which came in line with the estimate there. iPhone revenue, $85.3 billion versus, $78.2 billion expected. All right. Very good, man. So they beat that by $7 billion, the estimate there. It looks like here Mac sales, $8.39 billion. That came in under the $9.26. So Mac sales missed by about $900 million, give or take a little bit there. Let's see the different regions. Q1 Apple Japan sales, $9.41 billion. That was under the $10.1 expected. China sales, $25.5 billion versus $20.8. Wait a second. China sales beat by almost $5 billion. What were these analysts thinking, man? Rest of Asia sales, 12.1 versus 11.8 billion. So that's good. Really good, I would say. Japan sales a little soft, but the fact that China beat by about $5 billion, that is insane. Let's see here. Europe revenue, $38.15 billion. America's revenue, $58.53. Japan, we said that, $9.41. Where else? Wearables. Let's see. Wearables, home and accessories, $11.49 billion. Looks like here, Tim Cook says majority of users on enabled iPhones are using Apple Intelligence, which, personally, guys, I don't use it. I don't know about you guys, but do you actually use Apple Intelligence? I don't. I'm not. And look, I'm not the biggest tech guy. Yeah, I mean, I have the new iPhone. I have the new Mac, whatever. I like keeping up to date with things, but I'm not one of those guys that knows every single feature of every single tech device I own. That's not me. That's not me. So I don't use a lot of the features, quite frankly. I could be good with an iPhone 14 at this point, right? But I need it for the content. I need it for business purposes. But anyway, the numbers are pretty good here, guys. Some soft spots, iPad, or was it MacBook rather? Some soft spots with Japan, but the fact that China again beat by $5 billion, that's impressive, and I was not expecting that. And we can see here on the 5-day, 5-minute, we're now taking out the highs on Apple from the last couple of days, obviously. And on the 4-hour chart, notice how clearly we've been downtrending since December. We've had a death cross, right? Now we're starting to break through these moving averages again, starting to push through 260, 265. Let's see if it holds, because now we're at 261, not fully breaking out yet, but the signs are there. And the earnings calls right now, clearly that's moving the stock. I'm going to go back later and listen to it. But at this point, man, the inverse head and shoulders that we called out, I think, yesterday, what was it? That is intact right now. Do you guys see it? It's actually playing out. You see the left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder on Apple here. I'm telling you, man, if this takes out 262, 265, it could start breaking out again. And I think that's totally in the cards here, especially if Google and Amazon next week come in hot, which I think they will. And if they bring up the market, I think Apple, participates in that. You know what I mean? What do you guys think? But yeah, pretty good report from Apple. They beat on a lot of the key spots, or a lot of the key, parts of the business that I was looking at least. iPhone, China, very important beats there. So let's see if the stock rips through 265, 260. Very key. And SanDisk. I mean, guys, this is unreal. SanDisk today. Look at this thing. Oh my goodness, man. It went up 2.25% today. And now in the aftermarket, it's up another 10 to 12%. I mean, are you freaking kidding me at this point? This stock went up 500, 600% in 2025. It was the best performing stock in the S&P, and now it's up another 140 to 50% this year alone, 2026, and it's not even February yet. I mean, this is unbelievable. So SanDisk earnings are obviously out, pushing the stock up here. They ended up reporting, let's see, guys, earnings per share adjusted of $6.20. That pretty much beat the estimate by a 2x. Double, literally. The estimate was $3.12, right? So unbelievable beat. Sales came in at, let's see, 3.02 versus 2.59 billion. They beat that by about 400 million right there. So very nice double beat out of SanDisk. And they see adjusted EPS of, let's see, their guidance. It's all about the guidance, right? They guided up. This is what Micron did, right? They guided up. SanDisk now sees Q3 adjusted EPS of $12 to $14 versus the $3.63 expected. Think about that. Insane. On sales of $4.4 to $4.48 billion versus $2.62. So there you have it. Stocks are forward-looking vehicles, like I say, like you all know, you should know. And the fact that their guidance is light years better than what analysts were expecting, yeah, there you have it. That's pushing the stock. Simple as that. Simple as that, man. And the demand for memory chips, the demand for the products here from SanDisk, they're going through the roof. This is part of the AI trade. We all know that. We've been known that. And I got to be honest, man. I am this stock. I didn't think it'd go up this much. I'm a little surprised. Not that they're guiding up. I mean, that makes sense. But the fact that the stock has just not seen a single pullback, I mean, it makes sense. But this is, I get it to an extent, but this is more than just a re-rating. I think this is almost too aggressive. The amount the stock is pricing in right now. The fundamentals might not be fully caught up to where the stock is. And the fundamentals are good. But maybe the stock now is pricing in just too much. I don't know. I was saying that heading into the report, though. So let's see, guys. But be careful. That's all I'm trying to get at here. Be careful. There could be a big sell-off here. There probably will be at least a drawdown, a pullback. And, maybe I'll play that. We'll see. So WDC also reported, which is Western Digital. By the way, guys, hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. We're on the road to 100K subs on YouTube and on Facebook, 100K followers. We're close, guys. We're at like 65K on both platforms. So I appreciate it. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, that follow button. Cheers. So Western Digital reported, and their stock's not moving nearly as much as SanDisk. So WDC, they reported adjusted EPS of $2.13. That beat the $1.92. Okay, sales 3.01 versus 2.92 billion, so double beat out of WDC, and they see adjusted EPS of, let's see, 215 to 245 for Q3 versus $1.96. Good. Sales 3.1 to 3.3 billion versus 2.95 billion. So yeah, their guidance is good. Their guidance is also better than estimates. Excuse me, but not nearly as good as SanDisk's. Their guidance was ridiculously better, multiples better than what analysts were saying. But yeah, WDC still good guidance, not nearly as good as SanDisk though, and their stock's not having that same reaction. it makes sense to me. It's actually slipping a little bit. So for me, guys, I'm not interested in WDC. I got to be honest. I'm more so interested in Micron or SNDK, but both of these are just insanely overbought, in my opinion. Way too much for my, liking for me to, what's it called? Enter. Open a position. Micron's up, look, after the bell about 3.2%. So it's like, we called it out too. The thing is, we called out Micron 400 in Patreon, on the Patreon and Discord. We were talking about it, and yeah, it's at 450 now. It's like it never pulls back, it seems like. But yeah, that's what we're dealing with, guys. Visa is also out. Their earnings are out, and the stock's down about $4 after the bell. So Visa reported earnings per share. Let's see here, guys. Of adjusted 317 versus 314 expected on sales of 10.9 versus 10.68 billion. So double beat for Visa. Anything on guidance? Processed transactions rose 9%. Payments volumes up, 8%. Not bad. Transactions processed about $69.5 billion. EPS, blah, blah, blah. Anything on guidance? Nothing on guidance. Not bad, though. MasterCard was this morning, right? Their stock, I think, went up a little bit on the day. Let's see. Yeah, more than a little, 4.3%. And actually, MasterCard's back over a critical support, which is good, at about 530 to 40. We're breaking through that again. I like that. It was resistance for a little bit. Now it's support. So for me, guys, like I said, for MasterCard, I'm not too interested in either of these names. The charts don't look good to me at all, to be honest, and the fundamentals are there, but it's like, I rather invest in other stocks personally than Visa and MasterCard right now. That's just me, though. And we also got, let's see, Deckers Outdoor Corp, and their stock's ripping. They closed under $100. The stock's at 110 right now. We're up about 12-13% after the bell. So it looks like they raised their UGG revenue guidance to mid-single digits percent increase. That's good for full year 26. Looks like they raised their full year 26 Hoka revenue guidance to mid-teens percentage increase. Let's see, that's very good. And their numbers, $3.33 EPS for Q3. That beat the $2.80 expected. Sales also beat 1.95 versus 1.86. And they raised their GAAP EPS guidance overall to about 680, 685 versus 639 expected. And they raised their sales for full year 26, the guidance from 5.35 previously, now to 5.4 to 5.42 billion. That's above the estimates from analysts too. So, guys, Deckers Outdoor Brands was struggling for a couple months, and now we're finally getting a resurgence. And we didn't call it out on the channel, but this inverse head and shoulders, man, is as textbook as it gets. And it's pretty much played out. You guys see it here. Left shoulder, got the head right here, boom. Right shoulder right here. Now we're playing out as we're running to about 115, 120 after the bell. So that is beautifully playing out. And at this point, we are going to have resistance at 115 to 120, 125. So keep that in mind. But if Deckers Outdoor Corp, DECK, can get through that point, 120, 125, I think we're going higher from there. But yeah, we got to get through that point, that technical break needs to happen. And I'm curious, is this running up Nike stock after the bell? It might be a little bit. Yeah, not really. I thought it would. Maybe not. It looks like Nike. I don't own Nike. I've actually shorted it multiple times and made money each time, I think, shorting it. Yeah, pretty sure each time. But yeah, it's not moving here. And at this point, would I short Nike at these levels? Probably not. I shorted it when it was at 70. We shorted it down to 58, I think 60. And at this point, 62. I don't know. A lot of the bad's probably priced in. We've been holding the 60 level for months, so maybe it's forming some new support. We'll see. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video, guys. Apple's earnings, SanDisk, bunch of stocks. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and check out the Patreon. I'm curious, what you guys think about the Patreon for all the new viewers that have been joining. We're posting updates every single week on my portfolio. We're investing $1,000 a week, and every trade, every investment I make, every options trade I make is on Patreon, guys. You get full transparency, updates early in the week, at the end of the week as well. Whenever I'm buying stocks, you get alerted, and there's a private Discord. So if you're interested, check it out. Link down below, pinned in the comments as well, or go to stocksurfs.com/Patreon. And with that being said, cheers. I'll see you guys in there. Have a great rest of your day.